concentrating on visualizing it, and then I fall asleep and hopefully pop into a lucid dream, but it doesn't always work. So that's the only thing I've seen with landscape. Some people say they see entire scenes, flashes of light, sparks, which are also called pressure phosphenes. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Hearing voices, hearing music, hearing your name called. Okay, I'm going to raise my hand on that one. I have heard my name called in the hypnagogic state. Hi, Bev. Thanks for being here. Long time no see. Yeah. Oh, it's pouring rain where you are, Rebecca? Okay. If you believe in death, you have been misled. It's not the afterlife, it's the life ahead. Yes. Yeah. I know. And some people have been commenting, it's very rare they'll say, there's nothing after this. And I'm like, oh, yeah. No, there is. There is. Some people say, and tell me if you felt this, that feeling of falling right before they sleep, like you're on the bed, but you literally feel like you're kind of falling even though you're in bed, or kind of almost like a floating feeling. And people will describe that right before sleep paralysis hits them. Now, I think I've only had that happen once or twice, really, in my whole life. Usually, like in the hypnagogic state, I feel like I'm able to. I guess I've never really tried to move. I'm able to move around, and I wake up quite quickly. But I know some people really struggle with that. Plus, sleepwalking. Yeah. So your body's paralyzed, but your mind is semi-awake, right? Yeah. So, okay. Okay. Let me see the comments now. There's so much I want to talk about. Oh, that falling feeling. Okay, so you've had that, yeah. I've heard my name, dreams of flying, falling, you name it, yeah. One time when I was young and falling asleep, I heard what it sounded like a train just like thundering down the tracks. It just sounded like that right before I went to sleep. And then after that happened, come to find out that a lot of people hear that loud, thunderous, almost like a train going by right before they go to sleep. Yeah. But here's the deal. I feel like maybe more DMT is released when we're in that hypnagogic state. You know, the pineal gland is supposedly dumping some of that as we're in certain alpha and theta wave sleep, or states of relaxation. Oh, you left a comment on thank you for that on my previous video. But, okay, one thing I'm thinking is I think there is a matrix or reality overlying the one we're in right now. And I wanted to talk about that too. And let's go over the big ones. And I would love to know what you guys think. You can put, yeah, that makes sense, or there's no way. Okay, people are like, I don't understand quantum theory, quantum mechanics. That's okay, you don't have to understand everything. In fact, quantum theorists sometimes don't understand their colleagues either. They're like, what, that doesn't even make sense. You're just making up stuff. That can't be proven. Like, what the heck? But this is a theory back from the 50s. It's the many worlds theory. And it says that every event, or we'll see, every quantum event causes our universe to branch into multiple or parallel realities. And I'm just like thinking of like a deck of cards falling like, brrr. Like imagine all these universes and realities right next to ours. And what prompts that in this theory is, say you have a choice before you. Shall I go to medical school, or should I run off with that boyfriend because I'm so in love with him and he wants to travel the world for a year and backpack, and I'll blow off my scholarship and not go to med school? Well, then you make a decision. What do you decide? Well, in my case, I went to school. Just kidding. Well, I did. I went to school. But say I didn't. I would be able to explore that reality when I went and traveled the world for 2 years and, you know, just lived out of a backpack. And apparently there's a reality or a parallel universe where that has happened. So it's wherever you have, it's not just a decision like, oh, should I have water or coffee? No, that's not gonna, well, maybe, but I don't think so. It has to be like a decision that involves a lot of emotion, and I think love might have a piece and a part of this. There has to be a lot of energy connected to it. And then that big decision is made. Well, boop, boop, or maybe boop, it pops off another universe right next to us, another parallel reality where you're living that other life you didn't decide to live, right? Some theories say you could even be dead in the reality It is. So imagine these infinite versions of reality coexisting right next to us, but they're inaccessible to each other. And the only way, and again, this is my theory, not the theory of the many worlds, but if you're dreaming or lucid dreaming or in that state, can you get glimpses of the other reality or tap into it, or it's deja vu or something? I don't know. Maybe. But I don't know. It's just fascinating because these quantum paradoxes, like we talked about Schrodinger's cat before, like, is the cat alive in the box, is it dead in the box, or is it happening both at the same time, right? So this theory of many worlds implies all possibilities are real somewhere. It's wow, you can think about it all night long. Okay, so, oh, hello from the other room. That's, hello from the other room. Hello from Indiana, Nevada. Aw, should have went to vet school, but never would have met your husband. I think meeting your husband was probably a better choice. Yeah, I think that was, at least in this reality, right? Then, you guys, I love this theory. It's called bubble universes. So this theory says our universe is one of many bubbles, just a big bubble, in a vast, eternally inflating multiverse. And each bubble, like for example, I'll say our bubble is like the Milky Way. Okay, so our bubble has its own, even though it's the whole universe, has its own physical laws and constants. So for example, the law of gravity, or you know, the free boiling points, right? We have our own physical law and constants, and they form through quantum fluctuations. And this explains why our universe seems particularly fine-tuned for life. Like, why are we on this planet? Because this universe bubble is fine-tuned for life to exist. This is the bubble universe theory. And I think that's a beautiful theory as well. It's very compelling. It really ties into the Big Bang. Because if you think about the Big Bang, doesn't it just sound like there was a big bubble and then there was a pop and now you have these many bubbles? You know, like, think of it in a bathtub, like you have one big bubble and then it pops and it creates all these other little bubbles, like in a bubble bath. And now it's like the recipe for life. I do believe, I'll layer on top of that too, and they don't talk about this here in the bubble theory, but like, there must be a God or a mind behind all that. Now, I personally believe that. What do you guys think? I'm from Montana. Yeah. Oh, we have the whole country here. It's kind of nice. So, I kind of like that theory too. Then, let's talk next about, and I kind of was into this theory, like 15 years ago, if you've ever heard of string theory or M theory. So this is the theory that there are extra dimensions. So just in a nutshell, if you don't remember what string theory is, because it used to be all the rage, like, I don't know, I say 15 years ago, maybe it was 20 years ago. So these fundamental particles, like all around us, that we can't see, are vibrating, like almost like little strings vibrating. And they can be vibrating and pass through up to 11 dimensions. And in our 3D or time exists universe, it's like a brain, spelled B-R-A-N-E, like membrane. It's like a brain floating in higher dimensional space. And in this theory, parallel realities can exist on near
Walden University, get the W.
With Tempo Learning, I'm from the drivers.
Go faster, go slower.
But I already know what's happening in my world sets my pace. Let's do this. Get the W. Walden University.
Not a sports podcast, is that it's all about the trade timing, which is why we partner with Walmart Business. We can always count on them for low prices on the stuff we need, and they can get it to us however we need it. It's the Walmart you love.